Okay.
One second. Okay. Hello and welcome to this Compass Plus training. And we have Kostas with us today, who's going to go over the Future Skills Survey, which is a part of the Compass Plus. And I will pass it over to him.
Thank you, Laura. Hi, everyone. So I'm Kostas. I'm the Customer Onboarding Manager here at CEC. So my role is to help schools upgrade to Compass Plus, and then once they've upgraded, to help them get the most out of the product. So we've done a few of these sessions with the group, covered various things. Today's the last one. We're going to cover off Future Skills questionnaire. Okay, so some of you may have heard about it, may have seen it, may have been using it. You may not. Okay, so what I'm going to do a short presentation, and then we'll go into a demo within Compass Plus as well. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my camera off so I can see my screen full screen. If you've got any questions, it's a fairly small group, so either shout them out, unmute, or post it in the chat. I won't be looking at the chat while I'm talking, so if there's anything desperate in there, someone can by all means interrupt me, and I'll answer those, or we can leave them to the end. Either way. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. Share my screen. Okay. Move it over. All right, excellent. So here we go. So we're going to talk about the Future Skills questionnaire, as I said. So some of you may be aware of, may have heard of it before, maybe aware of a version of the Future Skills questionnaire that was around before. Now that was largely paper-based, wasn't a great product, to be honest. So we've integrated it now within Compass Plus, so it's all digital, all built within the product. It still pulls in your pupil data from your MIS, etc. So some of you may have seen the sort of the pre-digital pilot that was created before. In case you've heard of it before, that'll be the reason why. Okay. So today we're going to cover off the value of the Future Skills questionnaire, the questionnaire design. We'll go for a demo of how it works in Compass Plus, and then we'll look at how schools are using it within using the Future Skills questionnaire, and there's some sort of where you can get training and next steps available to you. Okay, so first let's cover off for the value of the Future Skills questionnaire. Okay, so what we found, we did a pilot before we launched this back in September last year. What the feedback we've had so far is students appreciate the opportunity to reflect on their knowledge and skills. So it's a very short questionnaire that allows the pupils to provide their feedback, tell the careers leaders how they're feeling about it, how they feel the provision is. And one piece of feedback we had from one school was from a careers leader was actually that when they did the questionnaire, lots of pupils came back and said they didn't know who the careers leader was within that school, rightly or wrongly. But rightly or wrongly, what that did do is that urged that careers leader to obviously have more visible presence around the school. She, in her instance, she just put up lots of posters around the school of who she was and what she looked like. But something as small as that, it just came out of that Future Skills questionnaire that she did with her pupils. And for the careers leaders, sort of fairly obvious benefits. You can get the feedback from your pupils. You can see how they're feeling about their provision, but more importantly, it allows you to look at who potentially needs more support, who's struggling, and which areas people are struggling on, or which areas you're doing really well on. And for us, from the CEC, it just allows us to sort of incorporate the student voice into our research. So it's good for us to know how pupils are feeling about their careers provision as well, and then we can use that to build our products and services in the future as well. Okay. Right, now this is just a quick comment from one of the Year 7 pupils that took part in the pilot. So basically what it's saying, I won't read it out, what it's saying is basically it made them think about their future, made them think about what jobs they might want to do, what further education they might want to go into, and a nice comment at the end to say no one is too young to think about their career. and that was one of the Year 7 students that completed the pilot back before we launched it in September. So it's really encouraging to get that feedback from the pupils, not just from the careers leaders, but also from the pupils to see how the value that they see of the Future Skills questionnaire. Okay, so I can talk about it for ages and tell you how great it is, but let's hear from a couple of careers leaders about what value they see from it. This video is only a couple of minutes long. Assuming Teams will let me share my video, my sound and video. Bear with me. Okay. Can anybody hear that or not hear it?
Can't hear it.
Can't hear it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to give up, unfortunately. Now, last time I did this, there was a setting within Teams that just said share video sound, but it's disappeared on me now.
Hiya, if you click present in Teams, which is in the top right hand corner, sometimes it comes up there.
Top right corner of, oh, okay, there we go. You're about to present. Okay, let's try again. Anyone hear it now?
No.
No. Okay, right, apologies. What we'll do, we send you the link to this afterwards, but 2 out of 2 failures on that, unfortunately, for me, with sharing that sound. It worked when I tested it, but the options disappeared now, so apologies for that. It might be because it's not my meeting, maybe, I don't know. But let me stop presenting that on the Teams and just come back to the PowerPoint. Okay, apologies for that, but I'll send out the link to the video so you can listen to those. Only a couple of minutes each, and get some feedback from the career leaders as well. Okay, so just go back to the presentation then. Okay, is that sharing again the presentation? Or has it disappeared?
It's disappeared.
Disappeared, okay, here we go. The joys of technology. Okay, back on now?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, so within the Future Skills questionnaire, there is 4 questionnaires plus a send version. Okay, just to cover off, the 4 versions are, you've got a starting secondary, transitioning from Key Stage 3, GCSE years, and 16 to 18 education. Within each of these questionnaires, there's 2 sections: careers, knowledge and skills, and essential skills. Okay. Now, there's also, I said, a send version of it. Now, the send version is slightly shorter, uses slightly different language, and is intended to be used as part of the careers conversation. The version is aimed at Talentino Careers Group 1, so students are not expected to do GCSE level qualifications. But you guys know your pupils. You can decide who's appropriate to send that send version to and who isn't. You may have pupils with send status that you want to send the main version to, and vice versa. It's entirely up to you. But the options there as a sort of slightly alternative version within the product. Okay, so just to recap, the Future Skills questionnaire was built as a feature in Compass Plus rather than a standalone tool. So initially it was available as a sort of largely paper-based tool that didn't integrate with Compass Plus. So we've now incorporated that into Compass Plus. So the benefits of that, obviously, is you've got everything in one place. You've got your pupil profiles, and this can build on your pupil profile. So you may have all the activities, interest destinations, and Future Skills questionnaires now. So that allows you to build a really, really good detailed view of that pupil, so you can easily identify what activities are taken part in, what benchmarks have been exposed to, and also how they're feeling about their careers provision within the school. So it's available within Compass Plus, but there's also PDF versions of the questionnaires if you want to. So you can download those, ask people to complete them offline, or just use the download just to review the questions, or share the questions beforehand with your pupils if you want to. Okay, so let's go into the products actually within Compass Plus. So let me just share my Compass Plus screen. Okay. Okay, great. Never works first time. Okay, we're in. Bear with me. Okay, great. So you should all be able to see my sort of dashboard page now. Confirm that for me. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, excellent, brilliant. Okay, so one thing to say is this is our demo site. So you see me referred to as Mark. That's not me. This is all demo data. So any pupil information we see in here will all be demo data and made up data. So any pupil names, skills questionnaire responses, etc. It's all demo data. Okay, so firstly, if we go into our questionnaires. So the first thing to note is I said about there's 4 different versions plus a send version. Now you can see them all here. Now, if you click on any of these, you'll see a preview of what the questionnaire looks like to the pupil. So what you'll see is it's all graphic driven, very easy. 4 questions on each, 2 sort of generally not so positive, and 2 positive ones. Okay, all the people need to do is click on those, click next, and just go through them one by one. I won't go through all of them, but you get the idea. So we've made it really easy for the pupil to complete. This can be done on PCs, laptops, tablets, smartphones, so really accessible for all the pupils. I say probably takes about 15-20 minutes maximum for them to complete, and really easy. Just literally click a box, click next, and they're done. But if you as careers leaders or Compass Plus users want to view the questionnaires, what they look like, if you just click on whichever one you want to view there, you can sort of tab through it as a preview, just see what the questions are and what they're going to look like. Okay, so once you're ready to send out your questionnaires, what you need to do, you need to generate the questionnaire links. I won't go through the whole process of doing that, but you generate the links, you download those links, and you send them out to the individual pupils. Now the links are associated to individual pupils, so that when you get the responses back, obviously they'll be linked back to that pupil. So what we wouldn't urge people to bulk send out all the links to everybody and just say, find your name and find your link. So the best way to do it, we'd recommend it, is using Outlook Mail Merge. So if you download the links, use Outlook Mail Merge and get those out via email to your pupils. Now on our website there is a guide on how to use Mail Merge if you're not familiar with it. There's a guide there. It looks far more complicated than it is because it's a really detailed guide. So it looks like there's lots of steps, but it's actually pretty easy to do. And what we're also looking at doing, hopefully in the next academic year, hopefully at the start of next academic year, is being able to pull in pupil email addresses from your MS if they're there, so you can send them straight out from there without having to do the mail merge. Now, once that option is available, that will be a sort of opt-in, opt-out thing, so you don't have to share your student email addresses. If you want to use that feature, you can. Otherwise, you can continue with the mail merge option if you don't want to share your pupil email addresses. Okay. So the first thing we need to do, if we select the year group we want to send something to, so if I click send year 10, for example, and then down here I can either send it to the whole year group here, or I can select particular form groups within that, or teaching groups within that year group. Okay, or I can search for individual pupil UPNs in here. Now from here I can sort these by names, the questionnaire types, questionnaire links, etc. So these are ones where you can see responses in here. These are ones where they've been sent a link and either responded or not yet responded. So because it's a demo site, I've got a mix of ones that have sent links out, not responded, etc., etc. The other thing you can do from here, you can also sort by your send status. So, or filter on your send status. So what you might want to do is say, I'm going to send a mainstream questionnaire, but I want to exclude my send pupils. So if I click generate links, it will ask me again to select the questionnaire type. And what you should do is pick the most appropriate questionnaire type for that year group. So you notice I said there was 4 plus a send option. For this one, it's only giving me the GCSE years and send because it's selecting which one's the most appropriate for that year group. So in this scenario, I click the questionnaire I want to send. Again, I can filter by particular groups if I want to. From here, I can select them all, or I can select particular ones, or select them all and uncheck certain ones. So lots of different things you can do. So what I might want to do is select them all, but actually say, you know what, for these 2 pupils, for Stefan and Kevin, I'm going to send them the send version if I want to. So you quite easily, pick and choose who you want to send it to, who you don't want to send it to. Okay, so I won't go through the whole process. Once you've done that, you would generate your links. They would download into a CSV file, and that's what you use for your Compass, for your Outlook Mail Merge to get those links out to the pupils. Okay, so say once those links have gone out, you can then see, looking at the pupils, you can see their individual links here. You can see if they've responded or not responded. So these ones with the blanks haven't had the questionnaire been sent. These have been sent and responded. These ones have been sent but not yet responded. So from here, I can click into the individual pupils' results. So that would take me to their profile, and I can look at their results here. So this is what I was saying earlier about within Compass Plus, you can get a real holistic view of that pupil. So you've got the activities in here, interest destinations. You've now got their questionnaire responses as well. So that's a really good way of getting a really good view of that pupil. You can use all this information for your conversations with those pupils. You can download the whole report, share it with a pupil, or share it with their form tutor or their parent or guardian, whatever you want to do with that. Okay, but there's various different ways you can view those questionnaire responses. So if I go back into the questionnaire, so if we assume we've sent those out, we've had a bunch of responses, we now want to look at those responses and do some analysis on that. So a couple of things, you can look at summary report or detailed report. So down here, the summary report will show you basically, as it suggests, a summary. So this shows us that for this questionnaire started secondary, we had 30 students submitted responses, which equates to 61% of the total generated links. So again, that will kind of show me, do I need to send out some reminders? Have I had a good uptake or a bad uptake? And so on. For GCSE years, I've had 99% responses, and so on and so on. Okay, and the first thing you see here is a summary. You can see for each question, if you hover over these, it's just a reminder of what the questions were. You can quickly see what percentage of your pupils responded negatively, what percentage responded positively. So that's just a really quick way of seeing how you're doing generally, how your pupils are feeling generally. And within this demo data, it's sort of, it's all demo data, so you've got some real high negative ones here, and some more positive ones here, but that just gives you an idea of what the visualization looks like in there. You can also sort by the questionnaire section. So remember I said there's 2 sections to each of the questionnaires. And again, just takes you into a summary of those sections there. And then what you can also do, you can also drill down further by, you can look at your positive responses. So it's sorted by your most positive. And then you can obviously look at your sort of most negative and so on. So it allows you to sort it and cut the data in different ways as well in there. Okay. So that's your summary. That just gives you an idea of just a snapshot of how the responses look for each of the questionnaires. If we then look into our detailed report, so again, it'll give you the number of pupils that responded. I can change it by, my questionnaire section, the questionnaire that we used. So let's see if might be one with more responses to give us a more indicative response. Okay, so from here you can see the detail here. So you can see if you hover over this, it'll tell you 7 students had mostly negative responses, 12 mostly positive. Now if I click on any of these, that will expand these to show me who those pupils are. So that'll help me address that. Okay, I can see that these 7 are most are negative, so maybe I need to address those. There might be some gaps in their understanding that we need to address. But again, just quite easily shows me, who may need some additional support or some additional help with their careers provision or how they're feeling about it. And then across here, we can look at our questions. So we can look at, say, for example, the questions that less than 50% answered positively. So again, if I look at this, I can say, okay, so these are the questions, these are the areas where my pupils are sort of struggling most with. So that could that may decide that this is actually where I need to focus on. You can look at your low scoring questions, which obviously will be similar to those, or you can compare your different groups. So you might want to compare it by gender. So this might show that potentially males are responding differently to females generally, or vice versa. You can look by your SEND status, pupil premium, etc., etc. So the idea is you can do lots of different filters to see, how different cohorts of pupils feeling about their careers provision. Okay, so that's there if you want it. And again, just going down here, you can filter for certain things as well. So I could say, show me, where's my cursor gone? Sorry, show me SEND status, and filter on the males that I've got with SEND status, for example. And again, from here, we've spoken before about within Compass Plus, you can build your custom groups. So you might, out of this, create a custom group. So you might want to add these cohorts here into a custom group that it needs support with, or you might want to, break it down even further and then build some custom groups out of these sections that you've got in here. Okay, so that's a run through of what it looks like. Any questions so far on that?
There isn't any so
Anything
far.
from me? Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me just go back to our presentation. Okay, so we've done our demo. Got another video there we can't share. So again, just we can't see the videos, we can't hear the sound of the videos, but the feedback we had from the careers leaders was they found it a valuable source when evaluating the provision, and it highlighted to them where they're doing really well in, where they need to maybe do more with, and it was useful to see pupils at different transition points. So the idea is, although it's only been available now for this first academic year, the idea is you do it year on year, and you can sort of track that pupils' progress over those years and how that how potentially their responses have changed. Hopefully, gone from move more positive throughout the year, and so on. So if you haven't already done your future skills questionnaire, we suggest you do it once a year per pupil. So if you haven't done it yet, probably wise to get it done before the end of this academic year, before you sort of miss that chance for that particular question for this year. Even if you don't analyze the results this year because you haven't got time, it's always worth getting the questions out and getting responses in, so at least you can analyze it next academic year if you want to. But ideally do it once a year per pupil, so you can track how they're doing across the school life. Okay, so next thing we said we're going to cover off is some resources, some training that's available to you guys. So what we've got lots of tools, not just around future skills, but around Compass Plus, and again also not just around our products, but around careers leader training or support with benchmarks and so on and so on. Okay, so we've got careers leader guides, which is within our knowledge base. So that'll give you lots and lots of detail around future skills, not just around how to actually create the links and send them out and how to look at your data, but also some more detail around how to integrate it within your school, how to use it best within the school, best practice, and so on. The preview I showed you, that's available as well if you want to share it with your pupils. There's also a PowerPoint for your students, which I can send over after this. So it's a very short PowerPoint. If you want to present it to your pupils before you send out the questionnaire, there's a sort of pre-prepared PowerPoint that you can use if you want to, just to run through the pupils before you send it. We've got some guides around the SEND version of it. And as I said before, we've got lots of articles on our knowledge base knowledge-based site, and lots of it is video driven, lots of graphics, lots of short videos, lots of easy digestible chunks to access that with. So on that, let me just quickly show you some of the resources available. I'll go back into Compass Plus. Okay, so we've got our training resources here. So you can see all our previous webinars and our upcoming webinars here. Some of these will be around Compass Plus, some will be future skills, some will be on Unifrog or Cello, for example. If you're new to Compass Plus, we've got our self-service training modules. There's 2 modules lasting about 30 minutes each. They're really designed for people that are new to Compass Plus, or if you want to have a refresher around it as well. And we've got a resource directory, which you may already have seen, which is lots of resources around how to achieve Gatsby benchmarks, lots of downloads, lots of reports in there just to support you in that. Okay. Now, as well as I said, as well as the sort of Compass Plus and product related training, we have lots of careers leader training. We've got free training for new careers leaders. We've also got some funded training available to everybody, up to £1,000 per person per year to cover off any training you want to do. So that could be, you can put that money towards the cost of the training, cost of travel, cost of accommodation, etc. But that's that's available. These things are available outside of sort of Compass Plus and Future Skills and the products we offer. These are more to do with your careers leader training and supporting you guys as careers leaders rather than just around the product. Okay, and last thing to note is this little support widget, which I bang on about every session I do, that will follow you around every screen you're on. You'll see this support widget here. If you click on that, this is probably the easiest way to get some instant support on the product. So if I, for example, put in Future Skills in here, it'll bring me up to the most relevant articles. Click on one of those, again, it will take me to the video. I can expand that and show that full screen, or I can watch it on here. If the answer's not on here, or if I want to get some more support, click on leave a message. It'll pre-populate your name and email address and just pop a note in there and send it over to the customer service team. You've got the option to add attachments in here. So if, for example, there's something odd on the screen, you want to take a screenshot, you've seen the error message, for example, you can take a screenshot, add that in here and send it to the customer service team and they'll respond. But I say knowledge base has got lots and lots of useful articles in there. But if you want to speak to somebody or get an email out with somebody, then obviously use this option as well. Okay, so I'm conscious I've whizzed through that at quite a pace. Any other questions? Any questions from anybody?
Nothing in the chat at the moment. So.
Stunned silence.
Yeah, you've stunned them.
Okay.
Is
there anything outside of Future Skills that anybody wants to ask? Anything the Compass Plus related? If not, we've all got half an hour back.
Yeah, there's still nothing in the chat.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll send this over to yourselves. You guys got recording obviously, but I'll send over the links to the knowledge-based articles. So have a look at those. There's much more detail in there about each of the different questionnaires, about how to use it. Take a couple of minutes to sort of watch the videos and listen to what other careers leaders are saying. Unfortunately, we weren't able to play that today, but I'll send over some links afterwards as well. And if you haven't upgraded and you want to upgrade, that should take no longer than about 30 minutes to do the upgrade. And once you've upgraded, you can jump straight into your Future Skills questionnaire.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Costas, as always. And we'll await to get the record from Maisie. So thank you everybody for joining us today. And thank you very much, Costas, as well. Another great session. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Have a great evening.